All right, we are back and we are covering TripleMania. Of all the TripleManias that we had this year, this one was the best by far. I thought it was structured well. It felt a lot better. It looked a lot better personally. I really like the entranceway that they did here. But let's get into it. So our first match was a 6-woman tag. It was Chik, Tormenta, and Los Toxicas taking on Dalys, Lady Shani, and Sexy Star 2. I did not know that Casas Negros and Dalys were married, but apparently they are. Or is it Nico's wife? It was one of those two. But she moves around quite well for her age. Like, seriously, she's actually one of the better talents that I have seen. And that's really good. I like this opener overall. I thought it had a good flow with it. I thought it had really good energy, and people were getting into it. You know, it was supposed to be just sort of that warmer up match. I don't know why they didn't put Copa TripleMania here, but they did not. It was a Death Valley driver through the table for the win. Essentially, every match is no disqualification, even if they don't say it's no disqualification. And once again, we still have Tarotes, or whatever the referee's name is, go after Lady Shani. He's a heel. His dad doesn't like it, whips him like a belt, like a brat. That was kind of funny. But yeah, the heels won. I'm going to give it an Orange Cassidy thumbs up, and that's being nice, to be honest with you. So let's talk about the Copa Bardahl TripleMania. So this was our sponsorship match, because they have this huge sponsorship opportunity with, I think it's like a car oil company. It's fairly big down there, and they are paying them quite a bit for it. Also, this is where I noticed that the camera angles weren't as jarring as they have been in the past, so I've been thankful about that. These are the people who came in order. Octagon Jr., Armis, Laredo Kid, Arez, Commander, Mr. Iguana, Murder Clown, Dave the Clown, Mrs. S. Jr., Nino Hembogresa, Willie Mack, and Pagano, but Texano was attacking him. This was absolutely terrifying. So they were doing a spot where they were on a forklift, high up in the air. And this was on the ground, so essentially concrete right underneath. And they set up 2 tables to break Pagano's fall, because Texano threw Pagano off of it. Now, if it was done with a company that was competent in these kinds of matches, it would have been fine. Because, the tables would catch his fall, still land on the concrete, so probably not feel fun, but the stoppage of the tables really does cushion that fall. I've been through multiple tables. I wanted to try it. It felt weird. Didn't necessarily hurt, but I definitely had some soreness. They did not do that. Pagano overshoots, missed the bottom table completely. The top table, he grazed it, didn't break it, lands on the concrete, and then the table flips over on his face. I swear to God, if they say that Pagano does not have an injury, I'm going to be absolutely astonished. What is that rinky-dink nonsense? This ain't ECW. It ain't 1997 anymore. Cut it out. And I don't care if Pagano wanted to do it. Guess what? You are responsible for these people's health. And Pagano just came back from, I think, like a year because of an injury. Congratulations. Yeah, outdid yourself. Anyway, he did not actually participate in this match whatsoever, but it's Copa TripleMania. Who cares? And during this match, at the very end, this is when the feed entirely cut out. The English announcers were trying to get it back because they were even out of it. It eventually came back before the finish, so I'm at least happy about that, but it's AAA. There has to be some sort of audio or visual issue at some point in time in the show. I don't think I've actually experienced a TripleMania show or a AAA show in general where there has not been some sort of audio or visual issue. I don't know why, but it's rinky-dink. It looks really bad. Anyway, it was an inverted Spanish fly where everybody lands face first. I like that move for Laredo Kid to win. It was a fine match, one of the better Copa TripleManias that I've seen. I'm going to give it an Orange Cassidy thumbs up, and that's being really nice. And if Pagano actually landed a lot better, I probably would have given it a higher rating. But because it's rinky-dink, that's what happens. The technical issues really did help. Anyway, okay. For the Reina de Reinas champion, Taya taking on Flammer. And basically the story is that Flammer has been trying to get this opportunity for months, but Taya kept dodging her. Not necessarily that case, but that's what they said. I don't know why Taya Valkyrie decided to dye her hair Happy Meal yellow, but she did. It looked like somebody peed and crystallized the piss in her hair. It looked awful. The match itself was fine. I actually did like this match. I know they didn't have like a choice on how this happened, but Taya got hit in the face with a trash can. I'm not sure if the trash can got her or she dug a little too deep, but good Lord, she was bleeding like a stuffed pig, and her blood started to coagulate on her face, so it literally looked like she was wearing a mask. Great visually, just like, oh my God, this poor girl. She bled everywhere, and her hair just turned this red. If it was blonde, I probably wouldn't have had a problem with it, but she decided to choose this weird neon yellow color. It's weird, very strange. I did like the match. It was a sit-out, spinning, inverted pile driver for Flammer to win, so somebody who works in Mexico consistently is now the champion. I think that was the right call. I'll give it an Orange Cassidy thumbs up. I feel like if the yellow hair distraction and maybe the blood was done a little bit better, I'm not sure if it was IRL or if she dug herself. The action was fine, though. I liked it. Yeah, Orange Cassidy thumbs up. It probably would have been more if those issues were not there. Okay. This was awful on every level. Just a spoiler alert, this is the match we're going to be watching together. This was so bad. I mean, there was no benefit of the teams. There was no benefit of other people wrestling on their behalf. These people are very old. Nicho el Millonario, I butchered that immensely, but he is the original Psychosis from the Mexicools and also the Psychosis in WCW. I think he made his debut in like 1980 or early 90s. And Negro Casas, he's been wrestling for a very long time. He basically stayed within CMLL from 1980 to I think 2022, and that's when he came to AAA. Just so you know how old these people are, this was a colossal disaster. Nobody was in place. Everybody was out of there. The only thing that I liked kind of was the story where Psychosis essentially was one of the first legends in AAA, which is true. He was there pretty much day one. And they still see Negro Casas as an outsider because of his tenure with CMLL. They mention CMLL a lot, even though they say that they hate them, and I just don't get it. I feel like it has to do more with their culture, which is fine, but still, come on. It was very bad. You'll see it, like visually. If you're watching this, you will see how bad this was. It just was garbage. It was a La Cosita for the win. It was a fucking mess. It gets 2 thumbs down, and I'm going to talk to Peanut Gallery on this being one of the worst matches of the year, period. Like, it was legitimately that bad, and we will watch it together. All right, so Brian Cage was originally scheduled to be in this match, but due to an injury I think he suffered at the hands of Darby Allin, good job there, Reckless, he cannot be there. I'm not sure if that is the issue. I heard medical, I heard injury. I heard both from the English commentators, so I don't think they even know. But this is for the vacant AAA Latin American champion. It was Pentagon Jr., Dralistico. The replacement for Brian Cage was Texano Jr. and QT Marshall, who just continues to be the best thing in this company. He is very over as a heel. I love the story that he did where he was stalking Pentagon's family between their previous encounter at the other TripleMania 4 weeks ago, and now it's just so good. And they played into it so well here. I loved this match. It was a good match. Everything about this was awesome. Even though Brian Cage could not be there, and I'm sure he would have been great, I think Texano played his part quite well. Dralistico fighting for his family. And QT Marshall rips the mask off of Pentagon and rolls him up for the win. Awesome. He's staying in Mexico. It gets a full thumbs up. I love everything QT Marshall right now. He is playing a classic pro wrestling heel. It works so well in this company. He is doing everything right, and I just love it. I mean, I'll go out of my way for CMLL to see QT Marshall, and I never thought I would say that. Oh, that is the incorrect one. We're doing this one. Oop. There. Rinky dink, right? I had this in order, but I keep clicking the wrong one. So, for the AAA Mega Champion, we have El Hijo del Vikingo, Mike Bailey, Jay Cartwheel, and Daga. Jay Cartwheel's core, like his core strength, is just out of this world. He did this move where he swung his legs out, but because of his core, he managed to stop himself and swing his legs from his arms, which were on the rope and on the apron, swung them so hard that it looked like he legitimately tripped Vikingo, and I was just gobsmacked, absolutely gobsmacked. He is very talented as a wrestler. Daga coming back is great. I love his style, very grounded, very rough and tough, and I dug it. With Daga, he left with his then wife, Tessa Blanchard. I don't think Daga left on his own accord. I think he was pulled a little bit by Tessa. You know why? Because Tessa's a brat. And that's why she's wrestling in front of 50 people, maybe, in a gym. I saw the clip where Daga here is going for the richest prize in AAA, other than keeping your hair and mask and shit, in front of probably 30,000 people. Look at the difference. Look at the difference in attitude. And El Hijo del Vikingo is just continuing to be awesome in every way. It was a pretty damn good match. It gets a full thumbs up, and it was a 630 splash on Cartwheel for the win. Mike Bailey really held his own here. There were a lot of great spots. There was a lot of good motion, and that's what I really liked about this, is that it felt very fluid. And that's just so great in wrestling, where something can just have that nice fluidity. It's awesome. This is great. So this definitely gets a full thumbs up. Vikingo is still champion. All right, Lucha de Apuestas. I was worried about this match. Psycho Clown, LA Park, Sam Adonis, and Rush El Toro Blanco. Rush is finishing off his stuff here in AAA, at least for now. I'm not sure how the contract with him will work, but he's fine. He signed with AEW, but there's a working relationship, so hopefully we will continue to see Rush in this capacity. I love it. Sam Adonis is a phenomenal heel, just like QT Marshall. Those two have to team and win the tag team champions at this point. That would be awesome. Psycho Clown is the ace of this company, like the definitive ace. He is great. The announcers explained why these guys hate each other, and this was just... It was a bloodbath. It was a fight. They fought everywhere. It felt like a fight more than a wrestling match, and it was exactly what it needed to be. Of all of the matches within this tournament thing that they did, this is the best one by a country mile, and it's not even close. It gets a full thumbs up. And it was exactly what it needed to do. Except one thing. Is this Psycho Clown injury real? So Psycho Clown won with a Spanish fly into thumbtacks and light tubes, and Sam Adonis was the one who got pinned. So he lost his hair. But Psycho Clown didn't get up. He had to be stretchered out of the building. Now, they show Psycho Clown getting strapped in and everything. Very, opposite of what WWE usually does, as an example. But it felt like there was a hush, and it felt very real. It was very strange, and also Sam Adonis continuing to say that he is better than Psycho Clown is great. They're going to continue that rivalry, and I am all for it. This was just an awesome TripleMania show. Like, basically from top to bottom, other than that one match, I was pleasantly surprised to very satisfied, and that is a great thing. A lot of choices were made that were absolutely correct, like definitely, and some I have some questions on. Like this one. I feel like I feel like LA Park should have lost, personally. I think he's had a great career, and I guess he still has some time on his contract, but he is not what he used to be. But same Adonis continuing to say, oh, I am the best. I love it. That's great. But that's really TripleMania. What did you guys think of the show? Not only my review, but also the show itself. Leave a comment down below. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about a very special show that I made last minute to talk about, just because of the reception, and I am so glad that I did.